Nick Maravets of Locked On Cyclones. Iowa State's been in the Big 12 for a long time. Oklahoma was too. And shoot just right, Oklahoma dominated the Big 12. And Texas did not. But when the two left, when they split, history happened. The Longhorns, who weren't good in the Big 12, won 13 games in the SEC. The Sooners almost missed a bowl game. The Sooners were bad last season. And now this year, for the first time since 1999, Oklahoma is not in the preseason coaches poll. Brent Venables has not been the answer. By the way, 6-7 Oklahoma, below 500 last year. Things have steadily gone downhill for Brent Venables. They are out of the coaches poll for the first time since 1999. Former national championship contender, perennial Big 12 winner. And then they bit off more than they could chew. They went to the mighty SEC to make a little bit more money. And you haven't spoken yet, and that's okay. I'm really, this is my soapbox first.
You got it.
Yeah. If you're an Oklahoma fan, if you're Dave from Ada, if you are Ryan from Bixby, if you are Carmen from Stillwater, or if you grew up in the conflict, we used to go on vacation to Ardmore, Oklahoma.
Ooh.
Gary from Ardmore. And your thought is, well, man, I love we're going to the SEC because we're going to make a whole lot more money. That's $20 million more per year. Can I ask you, Greg, or Gary, what did I name him?
Gary.
How much of that money is in your pocket? How much of that money is making your life better? How much of the losing, the not being in the coaches poll, the not having relevance in college football, being a forgotten part of the SEC now, how much of that is worth the $20 million that you will never see? Well, man, the bathrooms got upgraded at Gaylord Family. I like that part. Is that worth going 6-7? Is it worth being out of the coaches poll? Is it worth leaving the Big 12 that gave you so much? Nick, this is where Oklahoma, I think you say, hey, white flag on us, guys. We didn't have as much money or resources or prowess as we thought we did, and hiring Brent Venables is not working. Let's just can it all and go back to the Big 12.
I don't see any reason why not to. The only reason why not would be if they're scared of the competition. Obviously, Big 12 significantly better than the SEC, even though it doesn't get the public kind of perception that way. There is a reason why Oklahoma might not want to come back. They might not want to come back for obviously going to lose more games, like obviously the competition. They're going to have to take a little bit of a different angle as far as financially. It's not going to be ideal for them. It's not that the Big 12 isn't as rich as the SEC, because I think we're rich in different ways, but definitely a different angle for Oklahoma there. Is the SEC better off with Oklahoma or without them? Is the Big 12 better off with Oklahoma or without them? That's up to you, really, to decide. For Iowa State fans, I think we like Oklahoma being in because we beat them. We do beat them more than we don't. And it's always a fun win, especially in Ames. When it comes down in Ames and we beat Oklahoma, you can't beat that feeling.
Yeah, I am confident. And it happens in bowl games, happens in non-conference games. It happens pretty much every year. We get to that point, you say, oh, shoot, the SEC where it just means more, it didn't in bowl season. Or the SEC, when it just means more, the Big 12's most putrid team, Oklahoma State, last year, beats Arkansas.
Interesting.
We're beating middle-of-the-pack SEC teams with our worst. And that, BYU and Arkansas a couple of years ago, when BYU wasn't even that great. We are proving year in and year out. I mean, Arizona State, if not for 3 separate terrible blown calls against Texas, they win that game. We keep saying they're a play away. Yeah, they're a play away.
More than that.
And they were just egregiousness from the Stripes to put the little man down. The Big 12 is good enough at football that I think you're right. The Big 12 would have an edge, 6 or 7 teams over Oklahoma this season. Everybody's, John Mateer, great quarterback. Yeah, dog. I remember the name DeQuan Finn. MAC Player of the Year. Here he comes to Baylor. He's going to make a couple $1 million in NIL. Be one of the best quarterbacks out of the transfer portal. Everybody wanted him. He chooses Baylor. Bombshell. Within 2 games, dude's pissing down his leg in Big 12 play. Can't figure it out. He gets benched for Sawyer Robertson, who becomes one of the Big 12's best quarterbacks. So you're telling me that John Mateer is going to walk into the SEC and be good? I keep seeing these power rankings that have him 3rd or 4th in the conference. One, that just goes to show the SEC is a bad quarterback conference compared to the Big 12, where you have guys like Sam Levitt, Sawyer Robertson, Rocco Becht, Josh Hoover, Avery Johnson. That list goes. Caden Salter's probably 11 on the list, and he's good at football. And Oklahoma has an unproven SEC quarterback. They're 6-7 last year. And I do think overall, maybe they have a better shot to win in the Big 12 long term than they do the SEC. They sold out for the money, and now they're reaping the consequences of that, and the consequences are not good.
Can we have relegation in college football? Because that would make this a lot more interesting. I think if they stick around the SEC, they're going to have to realize very quickly probably can't stick around and lose consistently. Now, yeah, I get why they moved. Obviously, the money is big in the SEC, but that doesn't mean that the Big 12 doesn't have its perks. I mean, just look at Iowa State. Look at Ames. You loved Ames. Ames is one of the greatest places on planet Earth. It's nothing compares to Ames. Oklahoma, we want you back. We don't want you back that bad. I mean, we'd like you back. We'd like you back more than anything to make fun of you, probably. But, on a physical play level, yeah, you're right. They're probably going to be in the bottom half. And that's not even a joke. Like, that really is realistic just with the level of the Big 12 play this year. And to kind of get a little bit off topic, I don't see any reason we can't have two Big 12 teams in the playoff this season. Like, you know what I mean? Is Oklahoma going to make the playoff? Probably not. Didn't make the preseason poll.
No, they didn't. And I don't think they'll make the playoff this year out of the SEC. Is there some insult to injury here that the Texas Longhorns were in the SEC title last year in the college football playoff? Is it even worse to see your rival who was terrible in the Big 12 now win in the SEC? Oh,
from Oklahoma's perspective, absolutely. It'll be like if, I don't know if there's a super good parallel. It'd be like if Iowa made the the national title game. I wouldn't love that either. SEC, there'd be conference movement for Iowa to make it, but that'd be one of those you just don't want it to happen. Can't imagine how the Oklahoma fans feel right now.
No, they can't feel good. I have no pity for them. I remember the days of Lincoln Riley having a timeout called on him in Waco, Texas, and the fans rushed the field twice, and he was a baby about it. And take your lumps, go just lose with valor. And dude couldn't do it. And now they have Brent Venables, who America really wanted. I mean, every school in the country was calling Venables to be their head coach. But please, the best defensive coordinator, the guy who led Clemson to a couple of national championships, just come coach here. Oklahoma finally lands the plane, and you learn that, man, sometimes the number two, sometimes the DC or the OC is in that spot for a reason. They can't command a program. And not to say Venables couldn't pick it up at some point in his life, but right now it's just not working for Oklahoma. And it's a storied program. And that storied program is going to be bad again this year in the SEC. And I think they'd have a better shake in the Big 12 to continue. I mean, just based on the numbers of what they did in the last 20 years in this conference. They would be in a better spot to keep winning. And
it's hard to be worse than they were last year.
Correct. And it's a spot where things were going fine until you wanted more money. And the second you left for more money, you were bad. And now that you're bad, I just hope that fans who said, $20 million more a year, understand you'll never see that. And it doesn't change your life. It only makes your football viewing experience far worse. And the Big 12 would welcome you back.
Well, let me ask you this from the public's perspective. Yeah. What is better? 4 wins in the SEC or 8 wins in the Big 12? Because I bet some Oklahoma fans would be on the 4 wins in the SEC side, which is delusion, but it is probably the case.
Correct. And they would say that for the money. And say, we made more money going 4 and 8. Yeah, but you didn't. That money did nothing to you. This is a fake thing. This is a fake. That number on your screen doesn't change your life whatsoever, aside from having you now be more miserable as a fan watching your football team. And hopefully Oklahoma fans are coming around on that idea now, because they were pumping their chest and so pompous when they left. They left a year early, by the way. Texas and Oklahoma were supposed to be in the Big 12 last season, and they paid to exit a year early, and the Big 12 said, fine, get out. And now we're seeing how it's not working out at all for them. Nick Maravats of Locked On Cyclones. Where can folks find more of the stuff that you do?
At Nick_Marv on Twitter, or Locked On Cyclones, your team every day. You know it.
That's pretty easy. Fun stuff. Good. You can catch more of Locked On Big 12, Locked On Cyclones, wherever you find your podcasts, and on YouTube. And the Big 12 squad comes out every Thursday night. It's all of us. We get together. We talk about stuff, sports. Nick hasn't missed a single one. He's quiet.
I'm coming back. Come on.
He's in the background. He's in the back. He doesn't say much, but he's there. He's always there. This has been and always will be Locked On. Thanks for making it your first listen every single day. A crossover with Cyclones and Dos Grande.